us. We had record-breaking rainfall across the area. So, we're dealing with some significant flooding across portions of Metro Detroit, but at least we dodged the bullet with the rotating storms. And so here's a look at what fell over at Metro Airport. 2.18 inches yesterday within that 24-hour span. The previous record for that single day was 1.44 inches, and that was set back all the way in 1945. And so, of course, this total was cut off at midnight, but, we have some areas upward of this. We have another line that's pushing through the area right now that'll add to those totals, and so it's no surprise that we do have some flooding. Here's a look at the map. These are estimates that come from radar, so these are not the official local storm reports that come from the National Weather Service, but they're usually pretty darn close, and it gives you a good idea. All the yellow that you see here on the map, which is the majority of southeastern Michigan, that's upward of 2 inches of rainfall. Now, there are a couple little slivers and pockets, especially as you get in Washtenaw County. If you really squint, you'll see that it's orange or red. That could be closer to the 4-inch mark, but of course, that's not an official report that's coming out. However, with all the rain that we've had, flood warning was extended until 10 o'clock this morning for eastern Washtenaw, a good chunk of Wayne, southern Oakland, and for Macomb County. And so flood warnings will remain effective 10 a.m. Originally was supposed to lift at 7, but was extended to 10. Exact Track 4D, here's that other line that we're talking about. It's now moving off to the east side. It's a quick passing shower as we put our tracker on for you. This is going to be moving into Taylor at 6:23, so you have about 5 minutes. About 5 minutes until it moves into Dearborn as well. And of course, that's going to add to what we're already seeing in the Dearborn Heights area that Nick's been talking about. For Centerline, 6:21, looking over towards Chesterfield, 6:25. That's going to be the same time frame in Mount Clemens. East Point, 6:26. Roseville, about 6:27. So I anticipate most of that line to be out just after 6:30. So by about 7 a.m., we begin to dry out for today. We do have power outages still reported, especially along I-94 upward, and that's about 5,000 customers per county based on the estimates here with our system. There are greater amounts in the northern part of lower Michigan, but of course that's coming off of the ice storm that rolled through less than a week ago. So right now, a live look at Metro Airport. I keep showing this camera because you can see it shaking. If you're catching a flight out of town today, it'll be turbulent. We have a warmer and windy day ahead. Wind gusts right now upward of 30 miles per hour over at Metro, and it's southwesterly flow right now because the colder air mass from that cold front hasn't begun to really build in. So with that southerly flow, we're going to have those 60s on tap for today. We have temperatures right now either side of 60, and we'll take that little dip right around sunrise before getting back in the low 60s this afternoon, but not a dip when it comes to the last 24 hours, a huge upward swing. We're about 25 degrees warmer across the area than where we were 24 hours ago. So 64, the high for today, but likely low 60s this afternoon because we came off of midnight in the early morning hours really warm. But clouds and radar as we take you through the timeline here. We do have some sun peeking through to our north late morning, so I will say we'll get a little peak of sun here and there, but to our south, I'm not going to rule out a little sprinkle around 5, 6 o'clock, but most of us will stay dry the rest of the day. And as we zip through your Friday too, at least Friday morning and going into midday, it looks like we're staying rather dry. So I think there's only just a slight chance of a little shower if you're going to be outside of Comerica Park tomorrow, but the home opener should be rather dry, low 50s, pretty seasonal for that first pitch at 1:10. So an hour by hour look at what we have for the upcoming weekend. Friday night after sunset, rain starts to lift and it'll be heavier by the time we get to Saturday morning. And I do think that we can pick up upward of an inch of rain Saturday with some showers and storms that roll through. We slide in the 40s Sunday, Monday, even Tuesday, and then we'll be rebounding by the middle next week as high pressure builds in.
4+. Here's Ashlee.
In the meantime, we have temperatures in the 50s and 60s across the area as we start the drying out process from all the rain that we've had over the last 24 hours. And so right around 60 degrees from Metro Airport towards Detroit. Flood warning was extended for the metro area until 10 o'clock this morning. Highs today will level off in the 60s.
Thanks. Get a check of the weather.
Speaking of forewarn, we have your forewarn weather report for you right now, including some record-breaking rainfall. So out of the gate, let's start there. Yesterday, for the date, so April 2nd, we picked up 2.18 inches of rain over at Metro Airport. So that crushed the previous daily rainfall record that was set all the way back in 1945. That was shy of an inch and a half. And so that's why we were able to crush that record. And now, new this morning, we are getting official reports of rainfall rainfall really within a 26-hour window that started at 5 a.m. Wednesday, and then we ended the accumulation at 7 a.m. today. So picking up over 3 inches of rainfall in Pittsfield Township, over 1.5 inches in Sterling Heights, Dearborn Heights, and Ann Arbor, just shy of 2 inches in Chesterfield and Bloomfield Hills. And so all that rain in such a short window leading to flooding concerns in some of our local communities this morning. The good news is the majority of the system out of here. It was the warm front that led to the steady heavy morning rain yesterday, cold front that brought the waves of showers overnight, and this little disturbance pushed another little secondary round of a thin line of showers this morning. And so now the drying out process begins, and you can see how that line is now east of southeastern Michigan and breaking apart as it moves over Canada. So today's winds will be noticeable. Nonetheless, we'll have those wind gusts upward of 30 miles per hour before tapering off later this evening. And with the wind has come some warmer conditions, but wind gusts are anywhere in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range as we speak. Now temperatures have slid. We had that rain push through, cooler air mass building in a little bit. We started off the day right after midnight in the mid 60s. Now we've fallen anywhere from the mid 50s to low 60s, but that's still a 20 to 25 degree upward swing from this time yesterday. And so today's forecast, I think we do get back into the 60s. We'll get a little bit of sun peeking through those clouds, probably low 60s this afternoon. So that high will likely go down from what we hit earlier today, but we'll get that little bit of a warm up later on this afternoon. So you see how we have a mix of sun and clouds, especially a little more sunshine to our north. And then as we head into the dinner hour today, I'm not going to rule out a passing little light sprinkle as you get close to the state line south of I-94, but most of us will miss that. And in fact, this model data not even picking up any kind of moisture for tomorrow, which is great news. Some models hinting of a slight chance of a shower, but I'm going to stay on the optimistic side for the Tigers home opener. So we'll just say slight chance before game time. Otherwise, I think we just have some clouds and we'll be seasonal. First pitch tomorrow is 1:10 against the White Sox, and we'll be in the low 50s and probably mid to upper 50s by game's end. So most of the rain stays south until after sunset tomorrow. That lifts back north, and by the time we get after midnight, pre-dawn hours Saturday, heavy rain starts to overspread the area, and then we'll have another chance for a passing shower Saturday night into Sunday, but not quite as heavy. In fact, come Saturday, I think our southern communities, so we're talking Monroe, Lenawee County, could pick up upward of another inch of rain. So we do have a marginal risk for some flash flooding in that area. And you have to think about that ground just being a sponge. I mean, we've already encountered so much rain, so flooding does remain a concern. But we'll be in the 50s through the weekend. Going into early next week, we fall to the 40s, and then more seasonal 50s with some sunshine thanks to high pressure the middle of next week. Darnell?